Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Beth, here to help you fulfill your potential in meditation. As most of you know, I don't have just one method that I teach to everybody, like one size fits all. Instead, I much prefer to teach people one-on-one. And the reason is that you're all different. So please use these videos as a guideline, and if there's anything that isn't quite working for you, anything that doesn't quite fit, then be in touch and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you individually. Today's video is about practicing the third jhana. Now this video is only really going to be relevant to you if you can already practice the first and the second jhanas. So if you're not quite yet there, then I'll put the links to the videos that I've made on the first and second jhana just below this one, so you can take a look at those and give those a go first. Now let's say that you are already confident with the first and the second jhana and you want to move to the third jhana. Then where do we start? Well, what we want to do first is, as we've already practiced, we want to enter the first jhana for about 5 minutes and then the second jhana for about half an hour. On emerging from the second jhana, we bring our attention to the heart base as usual, and we should find 3 jhana factors there. We'll find piti, sukha and ekaggata, joy, happiness and one-pointedness. Now when we reflect on these 3 jhana factors, we'll notice that of these 3, joy is relatively coarse, piti is relatively coarse, and it's also quite close to the first jhana. The other 2 jhana factors, sukha and ekaggata, happiness and one-pointedness, are more refined and more subtle. If we were able to remove the joy and just keep the happiness and the one-pointedness, our mind would be more peaceful. Understanding that, we make the wish that the joy be left behind, that the joy not be carried forward. Once we've made that wish to remove the joy, we then focus back on our nimitta with no extra investigation. We don't want to be checking, oh, is it the third jhana yet? Is it not? No, we just want to focus on our nimitta for the remainder of the sitting. If we investigate, then surely our concentration won't deepen. So with trust, we focus back on the nimitta until the end of the meditation. At the end of the meditation, we emerge from our concentration, we bring our attention to the heart base, and we look at the jhana factors that are there. Now it might be at the end of the meditation that we see 3 jhana factors there. We still see piti, sukha, ekaggata, joy, happiness, one-pointedness. If that's the case, then we know that we were still in the second jhana for a little while longer. And in the next sitting, we can try reflecting again in the way that I've just described. But it might be that at the end of that meditation, we notice that joy is no longer present. Instead, only happiness and one-pointedness are present. And if that's the case, then we know that we've been in the third jhana. What we then want to do is repeat that for a few meditations in a row. And when we feel confident, we want to gradually reduce the amount of time that we spend in the second jhana. So we can practice the first jhana for 5 minutes, then the second jhana for 15 minutes, and then we can reflect on the jhana factors, make the determination to remove joy, and spend the rest of the time in the third jhana. When we feel confident, then we can spend 5 minutes in the first jhana, 5 minutes in the second jhana, and the remainder of the meditation in the third jhana. When we feel confident practicing in that way, then the last thing to do is to practice mastery of the third jhana. Mastery here means that we are able to enter the third jhana when we want, that we can stay in the third jhana without interruption, that we can come out of the third jhana when we want, and also that when we emerge, we can quickly identify that it was the third jhana. I've made a separate video on mastery, so if you're unsure what the masteries are or how to practice them, you can watch that video. If you've practiced the masteries of the third jhana and you're able to repeat that sitting after sitting, it might be that you're curious to try the fourth jhana. I'm going to make a separate video on the fourth jhana, so if you are feeling curious, you can watch that one and see if you can practice a little deeper still. Now, if you're experiencing any difficulty, if anything isn't clear to you, if you're unsure if it's the third jhana or not, then be in touch with me and I'll be more than happy to discuss those things with you individually. There's a remainderless ending of all suffering. So let's not waste time feeling confused. Let's get confident and masterful with these jhana states. They're a really important tool on our path to liberation. As most of you know, I do all of my work on a donation basis, so I encourage you to support me either through Patreon or through my website. You can find out about how to do that just underneath this video. Thank you so much for your support. Wishing you the best with your meditation.